everyone, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative, and we are going to be making a card using the newest Pocket Pals from the Fall, Winter, and Holiday 2023 collection. The Back to School Critters Pocket Pals are absolutely adorable. That's that 4x6 stamp set that you see on the right. There's all kinds of little critters in there doing all kinds of back to school activities. And this stamp set goes great with the School Bus Pocket Pals stamps, which are on the left. That has that school bus that is going to become an interactive element on my card when you pair that with the coordinating dies. So I'm going to start by taking the images that I want to have on my card from both the School Bus Pocket Pals 4x4 stamps and the Back to School Critters Pocket Pals 4x6 stamps, and I'll stamp them with some Raven hybrid ink onto a piece of bright white cardstock. Then I'm going to do some easy coloring. Even this large school bus image is very easy to color because it's just one color, really. It's yellow, so I went ahead and looked through my markers and grabbed 3 shades of yellow. Now my preferred method of coloring is to start with my darkest color and add shadows and then blend those shadows out with my medium color and then go over the entire image with my lightest color. There are so many different ways to color, so I always encourage you to use whatever coloring method you like with whatever coloring medium you like. You can always stamp this image on watercolor cardstock and watercolor this. You can use colored pencils. I have even used glitter gel pens to color images. Whatever you have, I encourage you to use and to use the coloring method that you are most comfortable with. I just prefer to start with the darkest, that way I have those deepest, darkest shadows, and then blend out from there. Same thing with the critters from the Back to School Critters Pocket Pals stamps. I stamped those out, and again, I'm just using 2 marker colors for each color that I want to use. So since these are smaller images, they're actually quite easy to color, so sometimes I just use 1 marker, but oftentimes I use 2, a dark and a light, and I just skip that medium. Don't let these small Pocket Pal images intimidate you. A lot of people look at them and think, how am I going to color something so small? But I actually find them easier to color than a large, say like a large floral image, because you don't need to think a whole lot about where your light is coming from or a lot of shading and dimension. My coloring is all finished, so I'm going to grab the coordinating dies. I'm going to show you how to use the School Bus Pocket Pals coordinating dies because this is what's going to form that interactive element. So I started with that outline die and lined that up just like you normally would right around the school bus, and then you take this inner die and you line that up with the windows and the door, run that through your die cutting machine, and then when you pop out this school bus, you're going to see that the windows come completely out and the door has a hinge on it. So instead of cutting on that right side of the door, the die just presses and indent a score line into that, so you can open up that door and you can place those little Pocket Pal images behind the windows peeking out from inside the school bus. Now that I have my images done, I'm going to start working on my scene, which is going to be what I call a mini scene. I'm not building a fully intricate scene for my card. Instead, I'm going to focus it on this circle that I have cut, and I'm going to add a bit of ink blending with some Marina Madness ink to the top of my circle, and then I have 4-leaf hybrid ink that I will blend onto the bottom. This is just going to be creating a quick and easy ground and sky just to help set the scene for my school bus. I'm leaving it white through the center, and that's just going to give a little bit of a highlight. I did use the Delicate Stitches scalloped circle dies, and I cut a simple scalloped border for my circle. That's just going to add a little bit of interest and just something extra. I'm adding that right around the outer edge of my scene. And then I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and I'm going to take those critters and start adding them to the back of the bus so that they are peeking out through the windows. You can adhere these any way that you like. I like to just take little dabs of glue and just dot it right at the bottom of the windows and then add those critters at the back. And then I'll reinforce that adhesive when I go ahead and add some foam adhesive to the back to pop this up onto my card. So right now I'm just using some liquid adhesive to hold these in place while I work on the rest of my card. I'm going to go ahead and fill up all of the windows. Now, don't worry about that little squirrel. I did have to cut off his tail just so the tail didn't come into where the door was going to be opening up. I promise you he didn't feel a thing. I'm going to start laying out my images, kind of planning my card. Now, you do want to make sure when you are going to add this school bus to your card that you don't add adhesive behind any elements that are supposed to open. So this door is supposed to open and close, so I don't have any adhesive behind there. Otherwise, you'll just close that door and you won't have that interactive element, which is an option, but I definitely wanted this door to open. I have this adorable little bear, and I'm going to place him as if he is climbing up the steps to get onto the school bus to start his day of school. And then I added the sentiment below, and this is it. I hope you enjoyed this quick introduction to the new Pocket Pal stamps in the LDRS Creative Fall, Winter, and Holiday 2023 collection. I'll leave links to all of the products I used below. Thanks for watching. Bye!